What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Kelsey's Constrictors. In today's video, we are going to be interviewing Brandon from B&T's Radical Boas and Pythons. Did I get it right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay,
You got it.
awesome. And you're from Tennessee, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Good
cool.
old Madisonville,
Awesome.
Tennessee, actually.
Cool. I hear the accent. I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so I guess we'll just jump right into it. I figured we'd do a little icebreaker, get to know each other a little bit, let everybody get to know you, and then we'll just jump right in. I came up with a couple little fun trivia questions. First trivia question, are ball pythons nocturnal, diurnal, or crepuscular?
I want to say nocturnal.
So the answer is actually crepuscular, which
I
means
don't even
that
know what that means.
they're most active in the early morning and dusk, like late evening, but before dark. A lot of people think that they are nocturnal and they do hunt
Yeah.
at night, but in the wild, they're actually most active in the early morning and in the evening. So fun fact.
Okay. Very nice. I didn't know that.
This is fun though. See, you get to learn cool stuff, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
What is a wild ball python's diet? Mice, birds, or African soft-furred rats?
I'm gonna say birds.
No,
No, oh
African
come
soft-furred
on.
rats.
Really? In the wild?
Mhm.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
And what's funny is African soft-furred rats are actually illegal in a lot of states.
Oh, really?
In
Okay.
California, they're illegal, I know, and I know there's a couple other states too. So if you have a picky ball python, that's a great way to get it to eat is to offer it African
Right.
soft-furred rats because that's the diet in
Right.
the wild. But the people who live in California don't get that luxury.
Oh man.
I know. Well, I'm so happy that you're joining me on here. I'm really happy to get to meet you, and I'm happy that you reached out to me to do this interview because I love meeting new people, new reptile people.
Absolutely. It's good to be here.
I guess we'll just get started with some more like getting to know you a little bit and hearing like your story and everything. So, when did you kind of get started with reptiles, and who or what inspired you?
I started with reptiles, I would say, in 2005. Before that time, I was actually terrified of reptiles, as a matter of fact. I actually just started with, the good old hamsters and rats and mice and all that good stuff. And then I transferred into corn snakes and I liked those pretty well. I had those for about a year and a half up and going pretty well. And then I went into leopard geckos, and then I went into both corn snakes and leopard geckos at the same time. I pretty much got out of the reptile stuff for a few years there. Work was rough and life happened, all of that good stuff. And then about 6 years ago, I got back up and going into it. I now have ball pythons, I have blood pythons, and I have boa constrictors, tons of rats and mice and ASFs.
Cool.
So we're just trying to start up the business and get it going good and everything, and hopefully to prosper in the future.
Awesome. I see you got some cool snakes and stuff behind you. What do you have in
Oh,
your little
yeah.
enclosures there?
On top here, I got a male 66% hit for blood VPI T positive albino
Cool.
boa constrictor. All of these are boa constrictors as well. A female that is 100% hit for VPI T positive albino and Anery type 1. Then I have a VPI sunglow male, a lipstick sunglow female, a sunglow jungle male, and a motley hit call albino female.
That all sounds really awesome. I'll be honest with you, I don't know anything about boa genetics, like
Okay.
hardly any at all. So I probably should have asked you trivia questions about boas because you would have
Right,
been able to
right.
teach me something.
See, I'm right the opposite. I'm into boas more than I am ball pythons, so I'm kind of like learning the genetics and all that of the ball python world. So,
That's
yeah,
cool. Yeah, the
yeah,
boa genetics, they just confuse me for some reason. Like
right.
I don't even know why. I don't know. It just doesn't click with me the same way for some reason.
That's understandable.
So how many boas do you have?
Right now, only these six, because I wanted to get these up and going good, see how they raise up and breed out, and actually learn about the whole species and every aspect of the species before I actually go into like more of expensive morphs and all of that good stuff.
Cool.
Oh,
And what's your
yeah.
favorite genetic? Like either that you want to
Um,
work work with or what you already have?
I love working with the albino gene and the VPI. I love those genes.
It always confuses me because it's literally an interchangeable term between the two species, but they mean totally
Right.
different things. So crazy.
Absolutely.
It should, keep that different to not confuse people like me that
Right.
understand stuff like that. So you like the boas better than the ball pythons though? That's kind of like your thing and kind of what you're going for.
Kinda, yeah. And
Yeah.
I kind of like the bloods over the balls as well. And I guess honestly, just to be honest with you, everybody does balls. Everybody's always done balls. There's nothing wrong with balls. I love balls. They're great. But I'm like shows down here in Tennessee, you mostly see balls. Like
Mhm.
nobody has boas, nobody has bloods really, and if they do, it's very few and far between. Everybody has crested geckos, leopard geckos, all of that good stuff. And I want to be the guy here in Tennessee who starts to breed up the boas and to breed up the bloods and bring them out into the expos in Tennessee.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. There's a lot. I mean, I think everywhere you go, everyone's always breeding ball pythons. You have
Yeah,
those few people that started the whole market, and then everyone's like, "Ooh, that looks
right.
fun. I want to do that."
The reason being, though, is because ball pythons have so many more morphs than like the bloods or the boas
Mhm.
combined, honestly.
Yeah, I think that that's a thing of like time too, though.
Oh, absolutely.
People have
Yeah.
been breeding ball pythons heavily since the late 80s, 90s.
Right.
This is a
Right.
30-year thing to get to where we're at. Like back when Justin Kabolka was starting and all them, like
Yep.
there was like five morphs.
Oh, yeah. 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 Yeah.
So you got to start
You're
somewhere,
absolutely right.
you might be the
That's
next
right.
Justin Kabolka of boas.
That's right, man. You have to
That'd be
start somewhere.
awesome. Do you have a favorite animal in your collection?
I do. It's probably my lipstick sunglow boa and my T positive albino blood python. I got pretty blessed when it comes to blood pythons because normally bloods are pretty nippy and a little bit aggressive
Hmm.
on the aggressive side, and mine are like calm, like super duper calm. So I got very, very lucky in that aspect.
I don't really
Yeah.
know anything about blood python, like even less
Yeah.
than I know about boas. Are they really cool though?
Oh yeah. They're beautiful snakes.
Who or what keeps you motivated or passionate?
So the start of it all, of course, was Steve Irwin. He was absolutely the master of
Hmm.
reptiles in my eyes. And then it would go to Brian Barczyk, of course, big hitters. Miguel, all those guys are great. Locally, the person that really got me into reptiles as a young man was Danny and Brenda Fariska, and they ran a pet shop that was in Athens, Tennessee. I went in there one day, and he is the person who actually introduced me to boas. At the time, I wasn't really crazy about the bigger snakes, so I was a little, ooh, I don't know about that. I was in there one day and he asked me to hold one while he was dealing with a customer. So I held it and I was hooked ever since.
That's such a common theme. Like both of them,
Yeah.
the Steve Irwin and the first time I ever did it, I knew my life was changed forever.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
What are your future plans or goals with your
Huh.
business or breeding or whatever you want to interpret that question?
Okay, so my future plans, of course, is to have my own actual facility because one, as of right now, I'm literally like running this out of my house. So, it's not easy, of course, but it gets the job done. But one of these days, I want to have my facility for all my balls and boas and bloods. I'd like to have a separate location for, all the rats and mice. As of right now, I mostly sell and breed rats and mice and ASFs. This year alone, I've made over $1,300 just off of them.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm pretty big into that. As far as goals, I want to breed for the love of the species. Most people just want to breed, oh, that big money, those big money morphs, those big money genes. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with that at all because that's what gets you up and going in the hobby, of course. I want to do that as well, but over time I don't want to just jump right in and not know what I'm doing and just be like, oh no, I'm overwhelmed with stuff like that. So I would rather slowly work my way up the chain.
Now, how do you market your rodents? Just out of my own curiosity.
Actually, mostly Facebook. I put them on there, and everybody's like, "Hey, I need." And it's mostly in the snake groups, of course. Some people get a little upset, but I have lowered my price just a little bit. And I mean by little, I mean like 25 cents lower. And it's just popping like hotcakes, man.
Oh, that's
It's yeah,
awesome. So you must have a pretty big operation.
pretty big. Yeah.
How
Pretty
many
good
rodents
size.
would you say you have?
Right now, I would say, let's see, rat wise, I would say I have a good close to 700 mice.
700.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, I love them. Mice, I'd say around the same. ASFs, I only have like 300, and that's only because I started those like 2 years ago. Honestly, down here, they're kind of hard to find down here in Tennessee. I found a few breeding pairs and just bred them up and keeping on, keeping on.
Man,
Yep.
I thought I had a lot of rats.
Right, right, right.
That's awesome though. Do you have any upcoming litters?
No, I don't have any upcoming litters because as of right now, everything is almost a year out from being even ready to breed. All of my other snakes that were actually breeding and producing litters, I have since sold those, and I'm kind of raising up new stock and new genetics, all that good stuff.
Well, I know boas have a lot of babies at one time.
Yes, they do.
Are you prepared for the influx of 400 baby boas?
Man, I'm telling you, it's odd about that because, like, anywhere between like 4 and 5 years of age, you might have like anywhere from like 12 to 18 boas. You get like an 8-year-old to 10-year-old boa, that baby's going to push out like 30 to 40, man. And you're
Wow.
like, holy snap. And you got to be prepared for all that. I like to have people lined up. I don't want to just, breed them all up and be sitting on them for years on end. And for some people, that does happen. I feel for those people. I
Yeah.
really do,
And then you're left caring for all those
Right.
baby snakes and having to
Oh
feed them
man,
all and take care of them all. And
there goes your rat
yeah,
business.
I was pretty disappointed last year because I had two planned clutches and neither one of my females went. So I had no
Oh
eggs last
wow.
year. I know. And the whole reason I planned it like that was so that I could have a small number of eggs so that I could like
Right,
learn and get some experience and figure out what I'm
right.
doing. And this year I'm gonna have five breeding females. So I'm like, well,
Woo-wee.
if all five of y'all go, I ain't gonna know what I'm doing.
Right, right. I've been there.
That's pretty much all the questions I had. I don't know if you had any questions for me or if you wanted to share anything else about yourself or your business or
I got a couple questions. What are you planning on breeding this year?
this year. All right, let me try to remember it all off the top of my head. I
Okay.
have an Inchi female who I'm breeding actually to him. So I'm
Okay.
hoping for some banana Inchi combos, hopefully
Ooh,
for
that'd
a
be pretty.
female banana. He's actually a rescue, so I have no
Okay.
idea any of his lineage or anything. I'm hoping that, maybe he's like a female maker or something. I don't know.
Right.
I have a pastel, possible super pastel, also a rescue. A lot, some of my snakes are rescues, so I don't really know their exact genetics, but she's really awesome. She's really pretty and bright. I'm trying to breed her to my TSK Xanthic boy. Both of those pairings are the ones that I did last year, and I had no luck. I had
Oh man.
5 locks last year between the Inchi and him, and no
Oh
eggs.
wow.
Very disappointing.
That's a
I had my
bummer.
incubator ready and everything.
Man, that's a
And
bummer.
then the other pair, I never saw a lock with them at all. And I've already started pairing again this year because, neither one of them went. They never lost any weight. They never went off food. So I've already started pairing them again. And I've already seen them lock several times. And the other ones, I still have not seen lock. So
Oh
I don't
man.
know what's going on with them. I don't know if they just don't like each other or what, but I don't know.
Right.
The other three, they're gonna go later in the season. They're not ready yet, but they will be. I have actually one of them is ready, but I'm just getting her back up to weight. I picked her up at a reptile expo this year and she laid this year, so she's not back up to weight yet. She is a proven breeder female, so there ain't no reason why I shouldn't be getting no eggs from her.
Right. That's a plus.
She's a Mojave, so I'm going to be pairing her to my Russo. So I'm hoping for some blue-eyed Lucies. That's going to be hopefully my number one, like, can't go wrong clutch.
Right. Right.
And then my other two females, I'm waiting on them to gain some weight. I have a GHI, which is Het TSK. I'm hoping that that TSK boy will lock up with her. And then I have a Champagne Super Pastel Inchy, and I have no
Wow.
idea who I'm going to pair with her. I got her last year, and she was 175 grams, and
Oh,
she's
wow.
already 1450 in
Wow.
1 year. I think that she was underfed, malnourished, or something when I got her. She
Okay.
was very skinny. I've looked back at pictures of her. So I think she had a lot of catching up to do because that amount
Okay.
of weight in a year is insane. She's going to be ready to breed this year. I just don't know who I'm going to pair with her yet.
That's awesome in a year, though.
She's also like my best eater out of all my snakes. Like
Oh,
she's a
wow.
tub launcher, dude. Like every time, I mean, I have to open her bin like this much and I'll see her nose right there. And I'm like, back up.
Oh, yeah. And I also have the two Burmese pythons. I've only had those like maybe a month and a half now. Let me tell you, those guys grow fast, so fast. And I don't mean just in like in girth either. I mean like in length. It has blown my mind. I have never worked with that species at all. It's all just a big learning process. But man, I'm so excited to get those big 8 foot cages and
Yeah.
big snakes, big eggs. It's gonna be cool, man. I can't wait.
So you have two of them,
Yeah,
male and
I got.
female.
Yep, yep.
Are they like special morphs or anything?
They are albino het granite.
You
Super
got a
cool.
really big variety of what you work with.
I do. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
variety like that. But it's all just boas and pythons at the same time,
right.
So that's kind of cool too.
See, when I think of Python, I always automatically just think of ball python. So
Right,
that was
right.
why I asked you those trivia questions. That was my fault. So,
Oh no, you're good.
well, that's
No,
about all the questions I have. So, is there anything else that you want your viewers or your future customers to know about you or your breeding?
stay tuned into the YouTube channel. Stay checked into the Facebook page, the Instagram, all that good social media stuff. If you have any questions concerning boas, mostly, or blood pythons, you can email me at btradicalboas@yahoo.com. That's btradicalboas@yahoo.com. And it's been great being here tonight, and I sincerely appreciate you having me on here.
Also, yeah, no problem. And I'll put all those in the description below. So if y'all missed any of that, you can just go down there and click that. Make sure you follow him on Instagram, subscribe to his YouTube, and thank you so much for joining. This was really fun. It was really great to
It
meet you.
absolutely was. It was nice to meet you as well. All right. See ya.
Bye. And that is all I have for today's video, y'all. Thank you so much for joining and thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to Brandon. It's B&T's Radical Boas and Pythons. And make sure you subscribe to him on YouTube. Like I said, I will put those in the description box below. And we will see y'all next time.